Hey, everybody.
Hello. Hi. We're back.
Yeah, after a 2-week hiatus because they, for whatever reason, kept putting multiple days in between games in the finals.
Indeed.
We're back because we weren't going to do a show just to talk about
Just
the
one
finals
game
until the finals were done.
We've arrived, and to prove it, we're here, as the Russells once sang. So that was long. That was a long season.
Oh, those breaks that they were taking I don't even know why they were doing them, because it wasn't like when they were shifting to a new city. It was just, all right, we're just going to take a 3-day break in the middle of everything.
I think the Oilers fans Oilers wanted to spend more time on the beach in Florida, so that was all it was.
That's possible.
I mean, it couldn't have been that the Panthers wanted to spend more time in Edmonton. Nobody would want to do that.
No.
Well, the West Edmonton Mall is quite good fun, but you know.
But congratulations to the Florida Panthers, 2 years in a row.
I know, and done in style in the end.
Yeah, they absolutely crushed them in the finals.
In the end, they did, yeah. It was just, I mean, even the games that the Oilers won were borderline, you know, could have gone either way.
A lot of overtime in this postseason.
Yeah, but those last two games, Jesus, they just crushed them. And it's going to be the Brad. It's going to be the Brad Marchand show tonight.
Pretty much. Marchand has been partying nonstop since winning the cup.
Like, they're
having to drag him out of bars. He's ordering pizzas to the bars so that they don't have to leave because they're celebrating so much.
It's Shoresy. There's some Shoresy shit going on there. Yeah. When he's getting crowd surfed
they're
in the
getting
club.
A little bit Sudbury weird.
I must admit, I mean, everybody's always hated him, you know, the rat and whatever. I'm starting to really like him.
Oh, he's grown on me a ton. I think getting to see his actual personality off the ice has done wonders for him this season.
Funny as hell.
And getting out of Boston also is part of it. So I actually kind of like the guy now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the getting out of Boston thing, it certainly helped.
The fact that he had the Panthers shooting rats at him all the time after the games. I mean, stuff like that. It was just like, you know, he's pretty self-deprecating too.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a picture actually. I thought I'd. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'm going to show you this image. It's we've got tons of stuff to do with Marchand, but this one I found highly amusing. This is a Boston Bruins fan watching the game with his Marchand jersey all by himself in a bar.
So sad for him.
He's so sad. Sad puppy. It actually looks like Pope Metallicus from the back.
It probably is.
It probably is. And he doesn't live in Boston, of course. But.
Did you see all the ones where Marchand basically just thanked the teams that gave their players to Florida?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
I've got it bookmarked.
Sharks
so
and the whatever. I didn't.
Thanks, Buffalo Sabres. Thanks, Flames.
We've got this Brad Marchand, and there's Brad Marchand seen leaving Florida. It's like a rat mobile.
Yep. That would be what he would be in. I'm pretty sure of that.
We've got tons of these tonight. It's so funny. Well, this was a great one. What would your former self of 2011 think of you in 2025?
Man, that guy's good looking.
That guy's good looking.
Yeah.
Probably be it. It's just how it plays out sometimes.
But, man, that guy's good looking.
Here's the one where he's thanking all the other teams.
Oh yeah.
So you got thanks for the MVP NHL Flames.
That's right.
You got thanks Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
And with Kachuk again, thanks NHL Flames.
Yeah.
And then the Jets for Maurice. So he's been having himself a pretty good time since they won the cup.
Yeah, I wish. Where is it? I know we were going to show some other stuff to start with. Oh, this. I got to share this one. This is funny. Hang on, transition. This is says Brad Marsh on dances like it's 2011. He's not a good dancer.
And he's probably just drunk.
It's permanently drunk. It's real Shoresy style stuff going on.
Yeah.
But that's not the funniest. I think the funniest was the crowd surfing one.
Or when they're handing him water bottles. And
Yeah.
he unscrews the cap on the water bottle and then just throws it away instead of drinking any of the water.
The crowd surfing with the cup.
Yeah, Anonymous. Marchand had a beer under his arm, a coffee, an energy drink, a
I
White
saw
Claw. He had a White Claw in his hand as well, and a cigar in his mouth, sitting next to the Stanley Cup on the back of a golf cart, I believe.
Yeah, and Anonymous is a Panthers
Kachuk
fan.
was driving, I think.
Oh, I've got that as well. Yeah, we'll get these. We might as well. We've started, so we'll finish. It's this one. The Chuck driving the.
Yeah. And he's cruising along pretty good.
He is. The cup's at the back there. It's funny.
The speedometer in the upper right hand corner.
Yeah. Well, they're keeping it to a reasonable 21 miles per hour.
21. Yeah.
It's funny. It's Florida. What do you expect?
Sure.
But yeah, well done, Anonymous. You're a Panthers fan, so you must be on a real high right now. 2 years in a row. Can they three-peat? It's a hard thing to do. I don't think they will.
We already know what's going to happen. The last time a Florida team went back to back, they met the Colorado Avalanche in the finals and got beat. So we're planning on taking out the Florida dynasties one after another.
But the cunning plan would be to persuade the Panthers to hire Corey Perry for a year.
I don't think anybody wants Corey Perry except for maybe the Buffalo Sabres. They're like, well, I mean, he at least gets to the playoffs.
He at least gets there to the final.
We haven't done that in forever.
Yeah, what was it? Five finals in 6 years, and he's lost them all. Something like that.
5 out of 6 years he's been to the finals now, and with 4 different teams, and he's lost every time in the finals.
Yeah,
that's
I can just
first.
Imagine the reaction for the next team he plays for. Get the fuck out of this dressing room.
Yeah. Second you get into the playoffs, it's like, all right, Corey, you're off the team.
Yeah. We should probably. I know you've got quite an interesting graphic to show, and we'll about the finals. We'll show it shortly. But let's close off the playoff bracket.
Sure.
We
also need to tell everybody what we're having tonight.
Oh yes, of course. Well, I decided I would sympathise with the Oilers a little, even though I didn't sympathise with them at all. And I'm having the Gretzky.
Okay.
Stuff. Yes, I've nearly finished this bottle, so I damn well better finish it. So, yeah.
And I am going to do a fresh pour of Weller's Special.
Ooh, very nice. Well, good. Nothing like so he's flaccid in the finals, as D-Bud says. Perry's flaccid in the finals.
Can't finish.
Yeah, can't finish.
Oh, that was a much bigger pour than intended.
He pulls out too early, or his team does. Funnily enough, he was one of the better performers they had. I don't think McDavid and Draisaitl, you couldn't say they were exactly a bust, but they weren't great in the finals.
So going into like game 3, I think it was. McDavid and Draisaitl still hadn't outscored Nathan McKinnon, who hadn't played in a month and a half,
That's right.
goal-wise. I mean, he only played in one round and had as many or more goals than those guys through 4 rounds. So
Yeah,
they really didn't. They really didn't do a lot.
Didn't do a lot, whether it was through being overplayed or just not having the team around them again to do it.
Yeah,
I don't know. They were getting played pretty hard. And finally, the Panthers, of course, don't treat them with the respect that other teams do. They were hitting them hard.
Yeah.
McDavid was getting hit, and he's not used to it, particularly. So
you'd think he would have learned a little bit from the Four Nations going up against a Kachuk.
Mm-hmm. You would think, but so of course McDavid's future is up for grabs. He didn't
unrestricted.
I don't know if he's unrestricted.
Or is it just? Are we talking about? I don't know.
I think he's restricted.
Is it that, or we think he might actually just ask out?
Well, he might. Well, he wasn't exactly unequivocally, "Oh God, yes, I'm staying." He gave some reasons why he would stay, but then he gave the qualifier. But at the end of the day, it's what's best for my career and my family type statement. So he is going to be well conscious of the fact that unless he wins the cup, he'll always be regarded as never having made that final step.
Yeah.
So he
can't be the greatest player of all time if you never won. Yeah,
if you've never won a cup. So he's going to be considering whether or not the Oilers can do it. Now they've been to the final 2 years in a row. That's not bad. They did have a little bit of suspect goaltending towards the end in that series.
Yeah. But we've kind of talked about how the round robin thing works with our teams, because you tend to beat us in the playoffs. If we face Edmonton, we beat Edmonton in the playoffs. Yeah. It's just kind of weird the way each team has one team that seems to be dogging them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. They just don't seem to be able to take that final step. They don't quite have the depth.
They didn't look like they had any heart.
No, I was surprised. I mean, actually, the commentary on the game, the final, I think it was the final game of the series, was, I think when the third goal went in.
When Skinner just let the puck bounce off of him instead of catching it.
Yeah,
his team had just gotten caught on an icing, so they were dead tired, and he should have froze it. Yeah,
the commentators were saying, even the commentary team that's just favourable to Oilers all the time, they just gave up on that one. They just gave up on that whole play, that whole sequence. They just gave up, and it looked like that. It looked like they were like, "Nah, we're not going to do this. We can't do this." They were absolutely dominated in those final 2 games.
Skinner and Pickard didn't do well for themselves either.
They didn't, but there was McDavid and Draisaitl just weren't doing it when their power plays were not good.
Anemic.
Yeah. So what is it? Is it confidence? Is it tired? I don't think they were injured, McDavid and Draisaitl.
I think it's what we've always said. It's depth, because they pay those two so much that you really just don't have a ton of quality behind.
Yeah.
And there were some injuries too. Nugent Hopkins, I guess, had a broken hand. But there were injuries on Florida side as well.
Well, for sure. So they just were not as good a team. At the end of the day, the Panthers were the far better team.
Yeah.
And more convincing than last year in that respect. So, and Marchand might have been the difference. I don't know. I mean, he was on fire in these games. I mean, who would have seen that coming?
That may end up hurting his ability to stay in Florida.
Maybe.
Because he's saying that he wants a 4-year contract.
Yeah,
but he's also not near. He showed that he's not near done being an actual part of the team and not just the old guy that you keep around for a bit. He was very active, which probably raised his price to what, 6-7 million?
Maybe. The question he will be asking himself, though, is I like it here. I like these guys. Won a cup. Maybe there's a three-peat possibility. Maybe it's worth sticking it out here, even if I could get a little more elsewhere.
Sure.
That's always that equation.
But it's not just a little more. It may be having to take a little less. I mean, I don't know that they can sign him at 6 or 7 million. I don't know that they can sign him at 5 million without moving other pieces around.
Yeah, what are they going to move? Yeah. Interesting. Well, this is what one good thing about the close season is you get this stuff, the horse trading.
That is the thing. When you win the cup, it's hard to keep a team together the year after. Especially with the LTIR stuff anymore.
Indeed. Well, they're looking at that, are they not?
They are, and I think the best idea is you cannot put on the ice on any given game in the playoffs a group of players that would be over the cap during the regular season. So it forces you to sit people.
Yeah. See, Ekblad is one that's being talked about as
moving on. He wasn't very noticeable to me.
He wasn't, no. So he's possibly moving on. So we'll see. But the Oilers and the Leafs, the Oilers and the Leafs share a lot of similarities. They overpay a handful of players, and then they've got nothing else.
They want their superstars, and then they've got nothing behind them.
So the question would be for the Oilers is, would it be the end of the universe if they did let McDavid go somewhere and picked up a whole bunch of stuff for him?
Well, Draisaitl has shown that he can technically play without McDavid.
Yep.
Because when McDavid has gone on injury stretches, Draisaitl actually produces probably more than what he does with McDavid in the lineup.
I think the Toronto Maple Leafs should do their best to get McDavid in addition to all the guys they've already got. And so they've got every other player outside of the 5 top players getting league minimum.
The Toronto's in trouble. I mean, the guys that they do have are going to want more money because there are a few of them coming up. You know, I don't know.
Well, the cap is going up.
I don't know. Cap's not going up enough to do that.
No. I feel so bad for them. I feel so sorry for them.
Well,
anyway.
let's look at this graphic of the
you got the graphic
of the NHL playoffs.
It's an interesting graphic. So, for the colorblind, if you're colorblind, you love this graphic.
Yeah. So what it's showing is this is the first round, and it goes all the way through, and it shows at the top of each thing what the percentage chance of getting through for each team is, and it just kind of plays out the whole playoffs.
Is it just
in
me,
one
or
graphic?
Or are they in the shape of the cup, each one?
Kinda.
Yeah. Except upside down at the bottom. And this was after each game.
So you can see when each clinch happens. Or not clinch, but moving on.
Yeah.
So now we're in the second round. I just wanted to play it because it's an interesting
I wanted to find
graphic.
that
I've never seen something like this.
I'm going to have to find that next year and see if it updates after every game. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 100%. And pretty.
And then Florida just crushes them.
Pretty crushed. Yeah, then it goes deep red.
Yeah.
Crushed.
Real quick.
That's nice. I have to keep that tucked away for next year.
Graphic.
Yeah, keep it tucked away for next year.
I don't even know where it came from. It was just something I came across on Twitter and was like, that's cool.
I see. So let's look at the playoff bracket second one we've done. No, it wasn't our inaugural one, and it was pretty good. I mean, we had 10 people. We would have had 12 if the two people had actually put it into the correct league, their bracket. But oops. So top is Fun with Collecting with 272 points. Quite a distance above Southern Belle in second place, 244. And the Bourbon and Boarding chat, the wise chat that they are, came third, 241. All of them, of course, picked the Panthers.
Yep.
So let's see. Fun with collecting.
I ended up in 4th instead of 1st because the Panthers won. If Edmonton had won, I'm in 1st with a lowly 175.
Yeah, and it's funny that Fun with Collecting managed to do this despite having picked the Wild to go to the final from the West.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's how it played out.
But well played, Fun with Collecting. You get the bragging rights as your prize.
Yep.
Maybe next year I'll do a custom hat, a bourbon and boarding hat for the winner. Now that I know how to get those done. So maybe next year there'll be a hat.
I don't even know if Fun with Collecting is around tonight, so
I don't know.
I'm sure he knows he won, though.
Well, indeed. The bragging rights are there. You would have been 4th, I think.
Yeah, I was at 175 points as well.
Yeah, you would have been 4th, just above Smokey. I would have been 6th, and I was in effect. Then I was 6th. That's what I get for picking the Avs. Jeez. And at the bottom was Dimasher with 33 points. It's always worth looking at that to see. Oh well, Dimasher did have one team get to the one pick get to the second round. Sorry, Dimasher, come back next year. We're going to do it next year, and we're going to have a next season of Bourbon Boarding. We'll have a better fantasy league during the season because we're going to make sure there's no bots in it this time. So, but thank you everybody who took part. I really, we appreciate it.
Participation. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
And somebody's car alarm's going off.
You're getting horny there. So Anonymous is asking. I was saying I was actually rooting for the Stars.
Fix the Stars.
Yeah, I was
apparently not Marchman.
What do you know? Well, let's think of how many hundreds of penalty minutes we're not going to take now. What do you think the Stars need to get themselves to the next level? A decent right shooting defender would help. A really good one. And a little bit more size and speed. We're very short on size and speed. That showed quite badly against the Oilers, who outpaced us speed-wise. So, and we didn't hit. Yeah. We're a pretty soft team, so we need a bit more grit, I think. Now,
do you
Marchman,
Ben, or is Ben too old at this point?
Ben, for whatever reason, will probably be kept, but it'll be a minimum contract with a lot of bonuses.
Sentimental keeping. I don't know that's the way you win a championship.
No, you do not, and that's the little bit of the problem with the Stars. They're a gentleman's club, very nice to the players. Now, Duchesne's re-signed, doesn't have great playoffs, but you need guys that'll get you there, and he does get us there.
That's a pretty big contract, though, for a guy that age.
Well, I've seen worse.
He's getting up there.
Hey, we could get Nashville to buy him out again.
He's been bought out by a lot of teams.
It's right. Well, 2 years from now, we might be able to finagle something with him, but he was a top point scorer, and he does get you. You need guys that'll get you there. He didn't perform at all in the playoffs, but that's possibly because of our style of play wasn't right. But we no longer have Pete DeBoer, of course, so maybe we'll get a coach that actually has some motivational skills.
No, what'll be funny is we'll face each other in the first round again next year, and then we'll beat you in 7 because you don't have DeBoer.
That's right. We'll never win a Game 7 again.
Exactly.
What we were very happy to see, though, was that his assistant, Steve Spott, who wasn't fired, decided to leave voluntarily. He went to Boston, and he's the guy that was our power play coach, and we had the most awful power play for most of the year because he doesn't seem to... Well, he's certainly not one for changing it when it doesn't work. He was a big fan of the dump and chase as well. So,
right, but that's also if your head coach refuses to jumble up the power play lines, then the power play coach doesn't get to do much about changing up the power play if the power play lines stay the same.
Indeed. So we're not going to. We'll still. I think we'll still make the playoffs, but. No, we're trying to.
Stars didn't show up, as Anonymous said, but Mikko only carried them for a few games.
For a few games.
Then he disappeared again, like Mikko is wont to do.
Yes.
He had a couple of hat tricks and then just poof, non-existent.
There's no need to be homophobic about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what happens with him next year, but he probably needs the right supporting cast. Now, Robertson, we're trying to re-sign him, I think, but at the same time, he's the
also
one
being talked about.
Yeah, because we might get some value back for him, so you never know. I think Granlund's gone because I don't think we can afford that one.
Oddly enough, I think the Avs have made their moves.
Well, didn't you? Isn't Brock Nelson got a 3-year contract?
We got
7
Nelson wrapped up.
7.5.
I believe Natchez and Coyle still had a year on their contracts. That's part of the reason we traded for them. So even if the rumors are true that Natchez does not like it here, too bad. I mean, unless he's going to sit out a season, we don't have to do anything.
No.
Your team was the only team that had less cap space than us. I could see us moving maybe a Gerard or Josh Manson, or just outright, just cutting Manson, something like that.
Possibly.
But technically, they don't have to do anything. They've got enough players signed as it is, and the free agency market, the guys that are going to it, we could get by without them for the most part, and still have probably the 4 strongest centers, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the league.
I think you've done most of your business already, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That
there
gives
may
you
be something that comes on the market that it's worth trading for.
Yeah.
And sending a Gerard or a Manson that way.
Well, you could.
I think the only thing we have to sign is Malinsky, and I think you got $1 million to do that. Which that guy's still up and coming, so $1 million is probably fine on him for a short.
Well, you could
contract.
sack your coach and hire Pete DeBoer. That way you'll win Game 7s. But he's so motivational and he's so great at adjusting.
Yeah.
And then you'll never hit, none of your players will ever hit another player again, even if their own players have been attacked.
As angry as I was at Bednar at the end of the season, it's still a situation of they had more players in the roster this year than any other team.
Yeah.
And that's, again, the injuries since the Cup, we've just been injury bitten in the worst way possible. Now, the problem is we were healthy for the actual playoffs. So that part of it is a little bit unforgivable. But the fact that he was using an AHL team for a good portion of the season and still made it to the playoffs gives him plenty of grace, I think.
Oh, he's there for a while.
Office.
Yeah.
And he's like the 3rd longest tenured coach in the league right now.
Yeah.
The Avs just don't move on from coaches all that quick.
No, and you've already got the impersonator, so there's no point in changing the coach. You've got the perfect impersonator behind the bench. True. So that's what it all is all about, really. I would
prefer the big boob.
We should hire the woman with the big boobs. Yeah.
She wasn't around quite as much this season.
No, she wasn't, which I think was part of the problem. There was no inspiration there.
We know Edmonton's problem was you didn't have the flasher.
That's right. Poor little Edmonton. Poor Edmonton. Actually, so we're talking a lot about Marchand, but Barkov was having fun as well. This was at 5 a.m. with these neighbors ring cam. Look at my cup. Look at it.
Do you not have the video?
I did have it.
I've got the video.
You got the video, but it's funny. I've seen it. Yeah, but it's a great picture. Looks like a nice neighborhood, I have to say. That's funny.
Let's get this up.
I'm assuming he's on good terms with his neighbor.
The neighbor asked him to bring the cup by.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know that he told him what time.
5:30 a.m.
I don't think the guys had gone to sleep yet. I'm pretty sure they were still
up,
awake from the night before, because this is
the video
the next morning. So
I
There is
think it's
audio, but
hilarious.
it's hard to hear.
Yeah, it's just a ring cam.
Right. But there is some audio on it. That is loud.
Yeah, it is loud.
He just keeps hitting the button over and over and
I know.
over.
Once is enough. Come and look at this. Look at it.
They're gonna be here.
5:30.
Oh, he's
There you go. They're up yet.
coming out or what?
Yes, he's coming.
I wish I had those neighbors.
They're just going door to door with the
Cup.
Stanley Cup.
He's
Look
on
at-
his way.
Look at my cup.
So at some point, Barkov said, "You asked for this. Get down
Yeah.
here. We don't have."
That's right. We got to move on soon. But that's it's
We got to
everything.
go to the next neighbor.
Everything about that and all the other celebrations they've had is just what I like about hockey.
Yeah.
I don't think you see that necessarily in other sports. I don't know. Maybe you do.
Well, I mean, the day with the cup thing, and the drinking out of the cup, all that kind of stuff. Did you see Luongo made pasta and ate it out of the cup?
I did see a picture of that. Yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure was Luongo, is he their goalie coach now?
he must be. Yeah,
He's got to be in some capacity with the organization, or he wouldn't be doing anything with the cup.
yeah.
But yeah, I saw him eating pasta out of it. And
That,
that has to be this year because
In Boston, that would have Boston that would have a completely different meaning.
right.
Just be careful with that one. So this is we got to play some of the. We're not going to play loads of clips, but here's the first Marchand goal in Game 5. He absolutely destroyed them. It was just crazy. Actually, have I got any? I don't know if I've got any audio in this. So I have. There we go. Look at this.
Splits the defense and scores!
Off the face-off.
What a beauty.
Marchand, he beats Pickard. The Panthers score first for the 4th consecutive game.
Well played. And then of course
they were
he
off to the races.
then he decided, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to do it again.
Yep.
There first, nothing but
This was even better, this one.
Leg movement, jumps on the loose puck, creates a bad pass initially, outside, inside, and that one slides right through. He's just been a factor in this game. Wallman plays it a little casually, slaps the stick out of the way, and then puts it in the final
Again,
zone.
not great goaltending, I don't think.
Yep.
But I was
Was a
enjoying
big
what
problem.
I was enjoying watching the Oilers fans throughout this game. It was quite funny. I mean, I've been there. We've all been there in games
Yeah.
like that. It's not like we haven't had our teams do it.
I mean, there's nothing better than when they start panning the crowd and catch the little kids crying. Right.
That's right. Look at it. Look at it. Open your eyes. Look. Oh, the poor things. But no, this was the getting under your skin clip. Hang on. Let's embiggen it. All right.
I'm Brad Marchand, and this is How To.
Right in the mix with everything.
I just yell as many different things as I can at somebody, and then hopefully one of them makes them mad. Someone bites, and then they yell back, and once they do that, I know I got them. And then I keep going. And then they get annoyed, and then my coach gets annoyed, and then the rest get annoyed, and I get a penalty.
And he got a piece of him.
I am Brad Marchand.
It's
funny.
the finale, Grant, because the season's over.
The season is
So
over.
we get a couple months break until
We do.
we go again.
We get time to rejuvenate.
Get
The
our
next-
Saturday nights back for a few months
Indeed.
during the summer. when
We'll
we
just
can
go do
enjoy the
other shows.
Saturdays.
It's not like
Yeah,
we won't
I
be
mean, I'll
doing
probably
shows.
end up gaming or being on Zax's.
Exactly.
show
Yeah. I'll be on Snowdub a lot for
for the
longer
full
and-
time.
for the full time. Yeah.
So here is the actual good goalie from this this finals. Bob had an excellent season and an excellent
did.
Stanley Cup run. But
Sergei Bobrovsky, congratulations. You
His-
have just gone back-to-back.
what he
makes this one
says is
special?
It's amazing feeling. And I want to say glory to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Spirit.
I heard
I
that.
dedicate
Yeah.
again and humble and appreciated for everything we went through. And I want to give that victory to the God, you know. I want to thank him for everything I have, for my parents, for my family, my wife Olga, my daughter, 2 daughters, for this family. This family is amazing. So I'm blessed with everything, and I want to thank God for that and go back to work.
Priorities. God, family,
Yeah.
then work.
Yeah. There are sports that would get him banned for saying things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to hear, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he had a great series.
Yeah.
They all did. I mean, didn't Bennett get the MVP? Was it Bennett? Or who got the MVP?
Yeah, I think it was Bennett.
It's Bennett, yeah.
Got the Conn Smythe.
Got the Conn Smythe, yeah.
This was that play by Skinner that he got called out on.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nothing shot. What a mistake. Bush, can I just ask you about the technical
Oh,
part
terrible. Terrible, yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, the interview.
Reinhardt had a hell of a last game.
He did. They were on fire. The Oilers just didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to handle it. They gave up. Like, really.
They got behind like 3 and they were done.
Yeah. The thing is that Skinner, you know, I saw the post-game interviews and I thought, he's talking about, well, we're going to do this next year, that year. I thought, are you really going to be there?
That's what you did last year. I mean,
Yeah.
you said the same things last year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got to get there again and we've got to make these changes. You didn't.
Nope.
Something on the team has to change, just like something on the Maple Leafs has to change.
Yeah.
I mean, they do the same song and dance every year.
Yeah. And maybe they're just, they've got this thing. They had these 2 top picks and that's their entire...
Yeah,
Their entire
that's the
thing's
salary.
built. That's it. The entire thing's built around that, and it isn't working. You've got to build a team.
And there are other players that are coming up, like Nugent Hopkins, that are going to need more money because they're actually, I mean, he's actually pretty good.
He is pretty good. He had a good year. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, at some point you got to take that hometown discount a little bit.
Yep. So, this was the. This is just one play. It was Ekblad. This is the way other teams are reluctant to hit McDavid a lot, I think. Well, the Panthers are not.
Ekblad Reed, he knows he's got support there, and he's able to stand up. And McDavid at the last second saw
And I think
just got
that's-
away enough that wasn't as bad as it could have been.
I find it interesting that because the Stars would not do that. They let him skate right through every time. Nobody touched him. Nobody would touch him.
It's also the thing with so they were actually calling penalties all throughout the playoffs this year.
Mhm.
There was apparently we are done with the era of playoff hockey being a different animal where the refs don't interfere as much, because it used to be you got to the playoffs and the refs swallowed the whistle for everything other than absolutely blatant had to call it. And, you know, if you know they're going to be calling things, then you can put a few hits on McDavid. Sure, you may get sent to the box a few times, but it's going to get in his head that he's going to get hit because they're not scared to.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
exactly. At some
way,
point, you
the
got
way
to take
this
the
year
penalties.
was called was not. I was not happy with it.
No.
It was terrible officiating for a good portion of the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And I watched damn near every game.
But I would say
Even
that
if it was just on peripherally,
Yeah,
I watched every game.
Oh, I watched a lot of them. Yeah, I think it wasn't just the playoffs though. I think the entire season had terrible officiating for most of it. It just
I think
was
so too.
blatantly obvious in the playoffs. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not so obvious when there's like 15, 20 games a week or whatever. There's more than that. 30, 40 games a week. It tends to get hidden. In the playoffs, it's a lot more visible.
Yeah, and Grant may have a point.
Yeah.
It's easier to fix a game if, and
Lot
there's a
of-
lot of gambling going on now.
money going on, isn't there? A lot of gambling.
Also, Grant celebrating 7 months of membership. Bourbon season may be over. Long live the Panthers. Hail to the bald on man on panel.
Grant, and thank you for being a member of my channel. Oh, wait a minute, you're not. Not that I'm
you.
bitter or anything.
Do we have some more Marchand clips?
I don't. I think that might have been my last one. I mean, wasn't that
I
enough?
had a whole bunch saved, but I cannot find where in the bookmarks it keeps just going all over the place. It's not holding them in.
In fact, that was the last. I mean, I had a couple of other things. There was wrong transition. Hang on, I'm transitioning to the wrong place. There we go. Just some of the award stuff, which we didn't really talk about before. So you got Connor Hellebuck, got 2 awards, I think.
Hellebuck, yeah, Hart and the Vezina.
Hart and the Vezina.
Which, for the regular season, he deserved it. But for the playoffs, he is bad in the playoffs.
Indeed. And I noticed Bobrovsky didn't even get a look in the Vezina.
And he was probably the second best goalie in the league this year. He put in all the work for my fantasy team, that's for sure.
He did. In fact, he's not even in the top 5 for Vezina, Bobrovsky.
Which is crazy.
Is Ted Lindsay Award, Kucherov. Well,
yeah, with Kale and McKinnon as the other 2 finalists.
I would have attempted to say Cale Makar, but that would have been me.
I would have probably said Kale.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kale, of course, did get
also,
the Norris.
Yeah, which was essentially automatic at this point.
Yeah. Top defenseman.
When Quinn Hughes went down injured, it was over for Hughes at that point.
Yeah.
So Kale was going to run away with it.
The Calder went to Lane Hudson.
I still think Celebrini was probably robbed.
Would have personally liked Celebrini, but that's the way it went. Got to give the Sharks something, you know.
I would have said Celebrini.
Yeah. What else? The Selke went to Barkov.
Yep.
Fair enough. Can't argue too much with that.
Nope.
The Jack Adams Award went to Spencer Carberry.
It was a season that nobody saw coming.
Yeah. So, fair enough.
I still think it's insane that Bednar does not get any votes
Well,
for this.
it wasn't
any
even
year.
in the top 3.
He doesn't get votes any year. And the dude has dealt with an AHL roster for a good portion of each of the seasons for the last 3 years.
Well, true, but Paul Maurice must also be thinking, you know, like he didn't have the best regular season, of course, did he? So
Hey, there's the winner.
Hey, Fun with Collecting,
Fun with Collecting
winner.
$4.99. Sorry I'm late. Just got off work. Just watched the replay. Thank you, and it was a pleasure.
Well,
if I win next year, my hat needs to be back-to-back champs.
Oh well, it's hard to do 2 in a row, but I'm sure you were pretty savvy, so you may manage it. And so you might hopefully you do, because if there's a prize next year and not this year, you've missed out if you don't win it next year. So. But yeah, thanks, Fun with Collecting, for taking part. Congratulations on winning, and thank you very much for the super chat. Very much appreciated. And Southern Belle is here. Southern Belle, Smokey didn't win. Fun with Collecting win, but you were second, Belle.
Yep.
You were second. We'll just recap that for you in a second.
Smokey actually couldn't win, because I was ahead of him in points, and the only thing that separated us was whether Edmonton or Florida won.
Yeah.
So if Edmonton had won, I would have beaten Smokey.
So, Belle, you were second with 244 points. Fun with Collecting was top with 272. Next year, we will get our shit together and have an actual prize. But I'm a tight-fisted Scotsman.
And I might actually join our own league.
And Brahma might actually join the league next year. But Fun with Collecting, bravo. And Belle, well done for placing second.
Yes.
Belle, you showed
Cheers, Fun with Collecting.
Yeah, cheers. You had a pretty good showing in the regular season fantasy, Belle, as well.
Yeah, she's getting the hang of this hockey thing.
She is. This hockey puck thing. Is that it? Are there not more awards? That's the only ones I've got here. Who won the Lady Bing? That's the one that's important.
Haven't seen that yet.
No. I didn't have a lot else clipped. I just wanted to congratulate
You pressured Grant into spending
I
money
just
on you.
pressured Grant, who's joined as a member of the flock. And if I was actually using my own streaming software, I'd be able to play him the special video for that.
But you're not.
But I've got no idea how to do it on this EV Mux. Grant, you're a gentleman and a scholar, and it's not true all the horrible things Brahma says about you. I don't believe them. I want you to know that, okay?
They are pretty mean. Fun with collecting for another $4.99. Cheers. Was a good challenge. Came down to the last game. Wild was an honorary pick.
And a horny pick.
Well, somehow that worked out for you.
It did work out. So
I'm still not sure how.
The trick is to pick a really shitty team to get to the final, but make sure you pick the winner on the other side. That's the trick.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many points on the winner.
Grant, you didn't need to fold. I was only joking, but thank you anyway, mate. Maybe you'll win something because I have regular member streams where I give things away. Like Mark D with a C won one of these wonderful That 70s Rock Fan hats, of which there are only 3 in existence.
So you have member things where you give away things, and you gave away something to another streamer, not to a
well, he's a member of my
chat person. No.
Well, he's a member of my channel, so what can I do? It's everyone is that's a member gets to take part. I do have ones for the longer standing members, not the ones that are given the free memberships. But
Sure.
But hey, do you have member streams?
I haven't had one yet.
Aha! Well, you should. They're fun. A lot of fun. I just wanted to congratulate, by the way, the London Knights for winning the Memorial Cup. That was God knows how long ago. But they beat the Alberta. Medicine Hat is about 200 miles from me. Believe it or not, it's the next town east from here. It's so far away. It's Alberta. It's big. So, but the London Knights won, so good for them. I did have something else. So, yeah, they're even talking about another bloody team in Atlanta.
Yep.
Like, how many goes is this now? 3?
Well, we're looking at adding 2, from what I have heard, in the next couple seasons, which they're also talking about. So if they keep adding teams, they cannot not expand the playoffs, which means the incredibly long season gets longer, or you cut out some of the regular season, or, I mean, they're talking about a possible play-in game.
Maybe you need a playoff for the playoffs.
Play-in series, which would be like 2 out of 3 from each conference.
I like
it's just going to push the Stanley Cup to freaking July.
I know. Actually, if it changed the way they seed the Stanley Cup, I would possibly be in favor of it, because we're tired of the way it's being done right now.
Well, this is Bettman's last year, right?
Yeah.
So Bettman is completely against changing the playoff format.
And yeah, it's the same
Every
teams.
single fan in the league wants the playoff format change. I do not understand why they are such sticklers on this. It's not creating rivalries. It's creating a pissed off fan
Boredom.
Who says we don't want to see the exact same matchup every single year over and over and over.
Creating complete boredom, yeah. Oh, here we go again, playing the same team for the 4th year in a row. Yeah.
Well, and it's not just that. It's, I mean, look at, who is it? The Kings have had to play Edmonton 4 or 5 straight seasons and never gotten out of the first round.
Well, that's their fault.
It's no fun for anybody involved.
Yeah. And then we keep having to play you and the Jets and like in this,
which should be late round.
Yeah.
Those should be late round matchups.
Yeah.
Where our 2 teams are right now, as far as windows to win a cup, it should literally be, either a conference final or second round.
At least second round.
It should not be the way they've got it going right now. I did have a funny non-NHL. It's actually a goalie save by a gal. I don't think it's the PWHL, but
there's no women in sport.
Semi-incredible. That's where the puck is, right there where the arrow is showing.
What?
And Twitter.
This is when I have to put my glasses on.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if Twitter doesn't want to play it.
Look at the way that puck's revolving, though.
120 to 1. Never tell me the odds.
So, come on, Twitter. Shot, pins it with her forehead against the post.
Wow.
Like, that was the only place where it could have gotten in,
Just as well
on that side.
Just as well she wasn't playing Corey Perry. He would have crashed the net and knocked her right back into the net and taken a goal.
Definitely not the PWHL. I mean, it's just a beer league for chicks, it looks like.
Good for her, though.
But that's a crazy save.
She does good head.
Apparently.
Apparently she does, yes. The only other thing I had was
Did you see John Gruden got to coach a beer league hockey game?
I didn't see that, no.
Thought this was a beer league. You guys have beer here? Hell
Yeah, guys at beer.
Twitter's screwing up because I'm trying to share it directly from Twitter. So,
Yeah.
Well, John Gruden is now a hockey fan for life because he got to coach a beer league game. And
good man.
apparently found it completely enthralling.
Cool. Well, there's enthralling.
That is the weirdest follow I've got on Twitter. Last year, John Gruden just out of the blue followed me, and I don't know why.
Well, who wouldn't follow you? I mean, you're gorgeous.
Yeah, I just don't know what actually got me on a radar that he would have been following me. I mean, that's a weird one for me.
Well, those things happen. I've got a couple of people following me that are like certain
like
musicians.
everybody got John Cena, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he
But-
follows everybody. Yeah, he's got armies of people following.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got a couple of musicians that I have no idea why they follow me, but they do, and they like and retweet some of the stuff I do. Like,
Grant says that the goalie save was AI.
was it? Yeah. I only other thing I had clipped, and it was just was TJ Oshie's retiring. Which
Yep.
so I thought
And Jonathan Taves to the Winnipeg Jets.
he's gone to the Jets. Yeah. So here's TJ Oshie having a special moment.
this time.
For Team USA, of course.
For Team Russia.
Team
now
USA
he's
who
get-
won the Worlds
So
for
congratulations
the
on the
first
great.
time since '33, I think.
Exactly. Congratulations to TJ Oshie, and good luck with your
Future
retiral.
endeavors.
Future endeavors, or non-endeavors, as the case may be. I'm sure he'll be doing something, but I always liked him. Good player. That was all I had clipped, and
I just wish I could find the rest of the Marchand clips because I had a ton of them ready to go from the
Did you
from just
bookmark
his
them
time in the
Twitter?
bars. Yeah, but I don't know that it saved it to the right.
Because I have
right
multiple
place
bookmark
for-
categories. You see.
Yeah, because if you've got the blue check mark, you get to bookmark them and put them where you want them.
And I'd like to thank Darren M for plugging our Rumbles and all that other stuff. Thank you, Darren. Appreciate it very much, mate. Thank you, Darren, for taking part in everything as well. We have
Even
such
though
wonderful
you made
fans.
fun of him for coming in last place.
No, I didn't make fun of him. Somebody has to come last. Hell, I came last. I was the last of the humans in our normal fantasy league. Even the bots were beating me.
No, I think my daughter came in.
Well,
last of the humans.
okay, but she was bottom from the start. I mean, that's not her fault. She doesn't know.
Oh, it's her fault. She refused to get players that could actually do anything for her and just got players that she likes, even if they're fourth line players.
Indeed, I wasn't walking down. It was just that somebody has to come last. I mean,
True enough.
yeah. At least he wasn't in the more boring middle like me.
So typically the season starts right around October 15th to 20th. So we will probably fire up the next Bourbon and Boarding for the draft for fantasy about a week and a half, 2 weeks before the actual start of the season.
Yeah,
It will be at the end of the preseason, but before the season starts.
Yeah,
we
we'll
can
let
get the
everybody
draft
know in
done.
advance.
We'll
and
put out community posts. We'll probably do a stream, and then the next stream will be. We'll probably do a summer stream covering all the transactions for the summer. That'll be a week before when we're going to do the draft. So the draft will be the first or the
We'll
last
do a
three
live
before
draft.
the season actually starts, and we do a live draft.
So we'll email everyone that took part in all the humans that took part in the last year's fantasy league and in the playoff bracket, and also open it up to get everyone else to communicate with us that wants to take part, so we can directly add them, so we don't have any bots this year. So we'll make sure all that information gets out in time.
Yep.
And
Yeah, Darren, I'll wrench you up.
Reg,
Let me just
man,
get
hang on.
into.
I got to figure out how to do that as well for Darren.
Well, he's already wrenched on yours, isn't he?
No, I don't think he is.
Oh, is it? Okay, so he's wrenched on mine and
He
not
is
on
now
yours.
wrenched on my channel as well. I'm not sure how can he do it in this.
I was thinking, didn't I already have that done?
Did I don't know how. I don't know if you can do it on Rumble.
On Rumble, you've actually got to name him.
Okay, I'll do that later.
In the moderators thing.
I've added him in my
dashboard.
YouTube. Yeah. Thanks, Darren. Yeah, I've made you a moderator on YouTube. So
Yeah, I already had.
yeah, because I mean, D-Bud Martin's my main moderator, and he's just so lazy. It's ridiculous.
I've got a
He's
lot
not
of
even
wrenches in there
watching
right
now,
now. I've got Awesome One and Darren in there doing the wrench work. So
Typically, I get my normal live streams on my channel. It's D-Bud Martin and Davina are doing all the wrenching. D-Bud's my main man, though. That man's my main wrench. He's a good lad.
Yep.
Good lad. But
Well-
yeah, there we have it. A whole season done.
yes,
All 18 months of it, or that's what it felt like.
it did feel like it man, the playoffs go so long when your team's out.
It's a lot of hockey. It was fun, though. We had some fun. There were some ups and downs, lots of downs, but we had a good year. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Oh, Eric K is a great mod. He mods all the time for me, too.
The mod of modders.
He is the mod of modders. D-Bud is playing tennis while listening. See, I couldn't do that. I can only do one thing at a time now.
Eric K has been probably, I think he was my first mod, which is a huge grab for a brand new channel to have the great
Indeed.
Eric K come in so that you can actually click on him real quick and be like, I'm not even asking, you're a mod.
Yeah, well, Eric's probably more than like 600 channels now.
And he watches all of them and mods on all of them at all
He's a
times.
great guy, and he donates memberships and all sorts. He's a good lad, and he has the tastiest meat.
It's true. Brisket's great. That last round of brisket was fantastic. I've got you guys set to go over to Zach's. I don't know that I'm joining him tonight. I have the link, but I don't know if I'm going to go on.
I think I'm going to go to bed.
I may go. I know Slender Dad wanted to play some games tonight, late night, so I may be doing that. But you might see me on Zach's in a little bit. I'm not sure. But,
I might just go to bed. I'm knackered.
thank you all for a great season. We hope to see you again in a few months and at the beginning of October.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we'll see everybody everywhere else. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Take care.
Great year.
Have a great summer.